All right, everybody, welcome. Good morning. I hope you've got your realize you've lost an hour. If you're getting up right now, looking at the clock and going, 10 o'clock. It feels like I didn't get that much sleep. You lost an hour last night, but it'll be good in the future as we'll have some more sunlight as the days go on here in the future. As we before we start here with some great. This is a great sports time of the year. Let's talk about Impact HVAC. Um, this is a good time of the year, man. Especially here in Pittsburgh, we have the most unpredictable weather you could ever imagine here in Pittsburgh. Unpredictable weather nowadays. It is beneficial to make sure you have a great system in place. You want to make sure your house can heat one day and cool the next, because that's what we go through. That's what we go through here in Pittsburgh. So don't be afraid to give them a call at Impact HVAC at 412-297-1852. Tony Danilo and the crew, they're great sponsors of us here at Sports Bible. So give them a call. Make sure you have everything ready to go for I guess the spring, summer, winter. We get a little bit of everything here in Pittsburgh. So Lucky 13s, the football draft, the NFL draft is Thursday, April 23rd. It's the tickets are now 20, not 40. I figured it's a little bit better to get you guys in the door, let you guys spend your money the way you see fit with the baskets. There's gonna be some great stuff, helmets, baskets. There's still gonna be a door prize for the people who paid the $20 to get in. Free pizza. It's well worth your money. I mean, I'm being honest. A swag bag, you get it's gonna be a shirt, a towel, a koozie, a bag. You're gonna get your money back from the basically from the swag bag alone. So come out, have a great time. Listen to us talk about the NFL draft. We're gonna have some. Hopefully, my co-host here will be there. We'll talk about the Penguins a little bit. Hopefully, they're in the playoffs at the time, or they're going into the playoffs. Gonna have some baseball guys there as well. So it's gonna be a big sports night, April 23rd. One of the other things I'll be selling there is be the NFL draft guide. I'm making it right now, so I'm basically up against the wall with a lot of stuff right now, but I love it. This is the draft time of the year, man. You can't give up on baseball, basketball, or hockey drafts either. So everything is coming together. This is draft year, the draft part of the year right now. So there'll be the NFL draft guide there as well. But without further ado, let's bring in Darren. Darren, how you been, man?
Good. Happy to be here. Busy, but I mean, who isn't?
No, you mean kidding. It seems like I'm not gonna lie, people. Darren texted me this morning. I totally this hour jump ahead, and I just was looking at the clock. I usually don't sleep as long as I did today, and I didn't sleep as long as I did because it was a mirage, because it was an hour different than what I normally would have slept anyway. So um this is a good time of the sports year, man. We got the World Baseball Classic. Hockey's starting to really grind down now. Where you're starting to get
Yeah,
your teams in a spot. You're gonna have the NCAA tournament coming up. Baseball, the regular season's right around the corner as well, and then you got NBA playoffs are going to be right there. So this is to me, this is the best time of the year. The NFL draft, of course, too. NFL free agency. This is a lot of sports stuff going on right now. For you
for
sports
sure.
guys out there. Um, but let's talk about the Penguins right now, man. They're struggling. There's no doubt. I want to start off with something that just happened, and I want to get your opinion on it because I value your opinion. Malkin 5-game suspension. Do you think that was too harsh?
I don't. I mean, he used a stick as a weapon. He hit Dolan in the face. That to me should be one of those zero tolerance things. He's lucky that it's been long enough since he baseball swung his stick at Scott Lawton's head about 7-8 years ago.
That's right.
So
This
like,
is
there's
third
a
suspension.
yeah. Like if that had happened closer to now, he probably gets 10 games if we're being real based on a history. But the way the NHL tabulates that, we're now far enough removed that that's no longer considered on his record, so to speak.
That's
Um,
true.
but he did that, and I believe it was Victor Stahlberg one time. He cross-checked him so hard one of Stahlberg's teeth was stuck in Malkin's stick. So this is not the first time that he's used his stick as a weapon to hit someone right in the mouth or try to.
And this time of the year, Crosby's out. Malkin was getting leaned on. Is this who Malkin is though? Where he can't keep it. We've seen him take some dumb penalties. This is I don't know if he meant to do this, so to speak. I think it was one of them deals where his arms were turning, but I mean, this who Malkin can be though. Sometimes he just loses his I guess you could say his mental fortitude every once in a while and just
Yeah, I mean, he lost his temper, and that's always been who he's been. It's one of the reasons he was so good for so long, too, though, is like he had that edge of just not really caring about anything. And I think he probably meant to chop Dolan. I don't think he meant to hit him in the face. But I mean, that's what happened. You have to punish the result, not what the intent was. So I'm fine with it as much as it's not good for the Penguins right now.
the game yesterday, 2-0 lead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I thought it was.
Oh, no, no, I'm sorry. No, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something different. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. They were.
We had the lead the whole game. Like we would get the lead. They would come back within 5 minutes. We tied. They would kept tying us up. A young Flyers team. In fact, they just called up what Alex Bump got his first NHL goal in his first game. Another young guy, Denver, but the Barkey.
Denver Barkey.
He looked pretty good too. But the Flyers, a younger team, still there's on paper, I mean, about even with the Penguins without Crosby and Malkin. I mean, we had a chance to really, I thought, put that game away towards the end. And what's going on with the Penguins and with their, especially with the 1-9 in a shootout, man? That's just
shootouts to me are kind of fluky. I don't read too much into that. It sucks. You're just losing coin flips basically. But what's frustrating to me, the power play yesterday was just super indecisive. Pretty much all game. The only they had the Novak goal early on the power play, and that was just simple puck to the net shoot, and that's their second unit on the power play basically for what they have right now. They were trying to run a lot of things to Rust and Raquel, and it just wasn't working for the remainder of this window without Sid and Malkin. I'd like to see them honestly try and run the power play through Kindle, Novak, and Brazeau because those three dudes just want to put the puck on the net.
I'll tell you what, Brazeau, I thought played the best game yesterday. It was a nice setup by Kindle, and the one it was like in the third period. Kindle made this nice little. He does it all the time. Nice little pass over the blue line, hit Brazeau and stride where he got a great shot. I mean, it was a good save. You got to give the Flyers goalie some credit too. I mean, he made some big saves, especially towards the end.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too. The power play let them down. Secondly, I know he made one giant save in overtime, and he made one giant save in the second period. Stuart Skinner did not have a good game. He had a sub 850 save percentage night. That's just unacceptable against this Flyers team. It's not all on Skinner, but him in the power play. To shout someone out, though, who played really well yesterday, I thought was Erik Karlsson. I thought he was their most dynamic player, period. And people haven't been complaining about him for the last month because he's been very good, regardless of everything around him.
I was listening to the little thing. From what I was gathering, Kindle had a rough one, defensively.
A little bit out of place at times. Avery Hayes had a really rotten game. I know he had the big fight, and people love that and whatever, but that's back-to-back games Avery Hayes has had where he doesn't look like he has the same edge he did on his initial call-up or what he's been doing in Wilkes-Barre since that call-up. Now, I'm not saying give up on him. Koivunen was fine. He had an assist. But Avery Hayes needs to wake up a little bit if he wants to stick because Tanner Howe, who kind of fills the same role, is right there and probably won't be up this year, but definitely will be next year. So I think you need some more out of Avery Hayes and Koivunen for sure to kind of secure their spots because I think McGroarty and Howe and probably Braz are going to be fighting for those spots next year.
And let's I know we're going through a little bit of a rough stretch right now. At least it seems like it. I mean, we've without Crosby, without Malkin, it looks a little bleak. But to bring people back to life a little bit, we're 1 point behind the second place Islanders, but we do have 2 games in hand still on them, which is huge. We're tied in games with the Blue Jackets, but they're 3 behind us. I mean, we're in good shape as long as we keep gathering points. I mean, even though yesterday's game sort of was rough, it's against the Flyers, it's at home. You want to get that extra point. You don't get it, but you still got a point. And I think you mentioned it earlier in the year, even when the Penguins went through their really rough stretches of losses, we were getting points in them losses. And that it's coming back to help us now. But we got the toughest schedule down I think it was like they said yesterday during the game, 600 win percentage from here on out of the teams that we play to finish the season. So the Penguins are going to have a rough haul. We don't know really anything about Crosby. Have you heard anything that?
So from what I've seen, and I believe it was Josh Yohe of The Athletic was reporting it, but he was at practice. He was doing drills with everybody else, not contact. But if he's back skating and moving around, considering what his injury is, That's a good sign. Maybe we're going to get him at 3 weeks instead of 4. Now, that still doesn't make it better right now, but they'll be better in the future. And to piggyback what you just said before, too, you said, oh, they were still getting points. That's kind of like what they're doing now. I don't think they played bad against Boston. They had a bad, 8 minutes, but they were mostly fine, if not better than the Bruins. I thought they played even with the Sabres for most of that game before Malkin took the penalty and everything kind of came unwound.
Mm-hmm.
And even yesterday against the Flyers, yes, the Penguins are sloppy and we're missing on the details. They were comfortably the better team than the Flyers yesterday, even without Crosby and Malkin. I don't think they're playing poorly by any stretch. It's just when you're missing your top 2 centers, it's tough, and it leaves you less room for error. You can't have breakdowns like Avery Hayes trying to pass the puck behind the back, gets stolen, and Owen Tippett immediately scores. You can't have Kevin Hayes just airmailing pucks and icing them all the time. Those sorts of things are going to come back to roost a little bit more whenever you're down Sid and Gino. And Raquel scored a goal yesterday, but he's been bad, and they need much, much more from Rickard Raquel. If I had to pick somebody this year who's been the most disappointing player, period, it's probably Rickard Raquel, just based on what his contract is.
And that's what I was going to ask you, too, before we get into what the Penguins did at the trade deadline. Which players right now do you feel have to? Do you feel like this is where Ben Kindle has to shine, a young kid like that? Or are you looking at some of the you're looking at a guy like Brian Rust or a guy, who has to up their game right now for the Penguins to get through this 5 games or whatever Malkin whenever Crosby comes back, if he doesn't come back within these 5 games, which the only good thing about the Penguins schedule this week is we play so often that Malkin can be out as long as it should normally be, because
basically misses a week.
Yeah, we're playing every other day this week. So who do you think really has to up their game right now?
You mentioned Kindle. I think Kindle's already gone above and beyond, and he's going to be fine. I'm not worried about him. But I mentioned Avery Hayes, Ville Koivunen as 2 young guys that need to step it up. And I think Girard is going to be fine. Sam Girard, they just acquired prior to the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs to be better, and they need so much more out of Crystal Tang. Crystal Tang might have been, I said Raquel might have been the worst player. Yesterday, it was probably Crystal Tang. Him and Raquel really need to pick it up. They've been kind of black holes a little bit in terms of what the team has gotten from them. And then Skinner needs to be better. Skinner's actually, it's one of those things you don't think about. Seelovs has been the much better of the 2 goalies for about a month now. That's kind of abbreviated because of the Olympics, but Seelovs is definitely giving them more than Stuart Skinner has lately. So if you had me pick Skinner, Raquel, and Letang, those are veterans that they need more out of.
And we're probably going to get Seelovs today. You'd agree with that,
I
right?
would imagine, yes. And they absolutely should. Bruins are a better team than the Flyers. You're on the second game of the back-to-back. Even if you're at home, they just need more out of the goaltending position, and hopefully Seelovs gives it to them.
You think the Penguins can bounce back? I mean, that's a
Oh yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: people don't want to hear it. Even getting another overtime point means you basically split the weekend. I mean, in a back-to-back situation without your number 1, number 2 center. I mean, that's not
think about it. You go 1-on-1 basically. I mean, it's basically a way to look at it. Even if you're losing 2 games, two
overtime games,
2 overtime losses, but you are going 1-on-1 in the hindsight. You're getting 2 out of 4 points. So I mean, it's not. I get what you're saying, and even like you said earlier in the year, we were talking about a 7-8 game losing streak.
Yeah,
but it wasn't all. I think 4 of them weren't overtime, so we were getting that's 4 points. I was like,
yeah, and
you sort of got 2 wins out of that.
And even that long win streak, the Penguins weren't playing that poorly. They'd have bad moments, where things would kind of go wrong, but they'd be good, if not the better team, for over half the game and a lot of their losses. And that's one of the reasons I don't think this team's really going to fold. There's a bit of an edge to this team. Do I think they're slam dunk cup winners? No, absolutely not. But I don't think they're going to fold like a lawn chair, but because there's pressure now and they're down people. I wouldn't be shocked if they went out today and pummeled Boston. Not because I think they're that much better than the Bruins, but they've done that a few times this year, where they'll have a disappointing game, come out the next day, and just blow the doors off somebody. That's happened quite a few times.
I agree with that. And before we go on to the NHL draft deadline or the trade deadline that just happened, remember everybody, Impact HVAC, you guys, we've seen our temperature go from about 25 degrees to 65 degrees here in the last couple of weeks, and it's going to get dropped down in the 40s again. So you want to make sure your house is able to do a little bit of everything here. So call Impact HVAC if you got an old system, you want to get something fixed, you want to get a brand new system. They have a great prices, great team. Call Impact HVAC at 412-297-1852. Let them know that Sports Bible sent you. and then we'll come and help take care of what you need done. And then once again, April 23rd, the draft at Lucky 13s, $20 a ticket. Come in. We got some great baskets, great helmets. Tony Dorsett, Hall of Fame Pitt helmet, Heinz Ward autographed color rush helmet. So a couple great baskets to put your money in and try to go home with a great prize. You're gonna get a swag bag well worth the $20. Plus, there's gonna be some pizza. There's gonna be some beer specials. It's going to be a real good night, a fun sports night. It's not going to be all about the NFL draft. It's going to have some hockey talk, some baseball talk. We're going to get everybody up there and talk some sports. Going to have a live, the speakers, people on a microphone. It's going to be a fun night. So come out April 23rd, which is coming up faster than I'd like, but it's coming quick, man. Darren, so the Penguins sort of did what we thought they would do, which isn't much during the deadline. I mean, we thought maybe maybe somebody offers them something that, for a player, and you're like, you know what, maybe we should get this. But I thought we've done really well going up into the trade deadline, which is sort of what Kyle Dubas talked about. I mean, Chinnikov is the kid's a future. He's a part of the future. I don't even think even yesterday he played great without Malkin. I think he's a guy that's going to eventually just be that guy. He's going to be that second line winger, maybe in a first line winger. He's gonna be that guy it's gonna be a great pickup in the future. So, and you already mentioned Samuel Girard. I think the Penguins have done well going into the deadline. Well, the deadline, they moved the draft pick for a 6'8" young winger, Elmer Soderblom. What do you think about that, or is that just basically another just piece? Or
I think it's a buy low. They bought low on a big guy that has good hands, and I think the hope is that he plays like left-handed Justin Brazeau. I really think that's it. And then it's a guy that you maybe flip later on. But I'm seeing the comment from TC. Yeah, like the whole deadline was kind of meh. You had a lot of smoke around some guys, and then the biggest trade ended up being what? Justin Falk?
Yeah, it wasn't the normal like 600 moves where you're like every time you look at your phone. It was a dead. For NHL terms, it was a dead deadline. I mean, that's for sure. There wasn't like them. There was a lot of moves though. There was a good bit of moves, but the 2 days before that deadline though too.
Yeah, it's been more of an incremental buildup, and I think the Olympic break had a lot to do with that. Just kind of an odd year with how a lot of the moves were spaced out.
So we got Soderblom. We didn't. A lot of people. There was a couple of rumors I heard. The one rumor I heard that sort of made sense. I don't know if you heard it. Was the Teddy Bluger rumor that the Penguins.
Yeah, I wouldn't have touched that with a 10-foot pole. I don't think it made sense. I think he's been hurt a lot since he left Pittsburgh. And you already have better Teddy Bluger. His name's Blake Lizotte. Like they're the same. Blake Lizotte's just that, but better. He's Teddy Bluger plus.
He was playing hot going into the deadline. That was one of the reasons people thought it might happen. But I mean, other than that though, I mean, this is the team we got. I mean, you get Crosby back healthy, hopefully here in maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. You get Malkin back maybe with a little fire. I mean, he's been playing great all year. I can't put the guy down. But I mean, this is Malkin and who he is. I mean, usually it's during a game it's that offensive zone penalty kind of thing, and this was an offensive zone penalty, was it not?
I believe so. He was to the side of that.
He
chops him in the face.
That guy is so good about getting penalties in front of his, and the other opponent's net, not his own net. But that the Penguins. I mean, this is who they're going to be down the stretch. You already talked about it a little bit. You think this is enough?
I think they're a playoff team. I think they're the second best team in the Metro. Like I firmly believe that they are. Now, I don't think the division's great beyond Carolina, but I think they're the second best team in the Metro. I think they're going to finish as that 2 seed, and you play Columbus or the Islanders in round 1. That's honestly where I think they're going to end up, and I think that's what they have. But yeah, and then I'm seeing another comment saying about the Rangers moving people. I think a lot of teams, like the prices were just so high that you were seeing for a lot of players. Like there was the one rumor I saw, the Penguins inquired about Robert Thomas, but they wanted Ben Kindle, which would have been a no starter for me. So I totally get it. And I think Thomas is great. I think Thomas is one of the 15 best centers in hockey, but I think Kindle's ceiling could be higher than that. So I don't mind not moving him. Braden Shen maybe going to the Islanders was kind of a big one, but I think it's an overpay, but we'll see. But yeah, I think the Penguins, as they're built, are probably the second best team in the Metro, and I think they'll be that 2 seed at worst 3 seed.
You don't. I mean, to me, the Islanders have a lot of momentum right now. I mean, I got that. I mean, I watched. Have you seen a young defenseman as good as Matthew Schaefer come into the league, putting
I
up
mean,
this type
no,
of
I don't
numbers?
think anybody has. I don't think anybody's seen a defenseman in particular, burst onto the scene as well as he has. Like, you're going back to guys like Ray Bork. Like,
Yeah, I
that's how
mean,
far back you have to go.
back in the day, where defensemen put up the numbers, and defensemen were, they were higher back in Bork's days. Like these numbers he's putting up are like,
Yeah, he's. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's eras you can't compare. But I mean, Lidstrom wasn't in the league till he was 20. Carlson didn't play his first game until he was almost 20. I mean, those are the guys you're like comparing him to, and Schaefer just kind of burst onto the scene and is just a whole different animal.
yeah, I mean, the numbers he's putting up. I mean, I'm just like, wow. I mean, this kid, I didn't see this coming either. I mean, I thought he was to be a good defenseman. I thought it would take a couple years to, like you said, to settle in the league. We did stuff on him last year with the draft. I thought, I had no problem with him being he was a given first overall pick. I had no problem with that, but I didn't see this at all. He says Makar.
Makar is different though because he was a year older. He had a year in college. Like, Makar got some minutes his rookie year after college ended, but he didn't get a full season like what we're seeing out of Schaefer. Makar had a small playoff run, but what we're seeing from Schaefer is wire to wire. He's been the best player on his team in a playoff spot. That's something completely new that
Yes.
we haven't seen in decades.
20 goals, 46 points, 64 games for a rookie, plus 12. He's done it all. I mean, he's been he's a fun guy to watch. The Islanders are. I agree with you. I think we are the second best team once we have Crosby and Malkin back in the lineup. But I'll tell you what, the Islanders, that'd be a nice matchup in the first round. I could see us winning, but I could see us losing as well. I
The
mean,
kind of dirty secret about the Islanders is not getting super into the advanced stats, but they're like the fourth worst team in hockey in terms of giving up high danger chances. They give up like the fourth most and like the fourth highest quality on average, I believe. Ilya Sorokin's been playing out of his mind. That team isn't anywhere near a playoff spot if it isn't for Schaefer and Sorokin. And Bo Horvat's been good too, but it's mostly been Schaefer and Sorokin that are really, really driving that bus.
so we go through this a lot now. Now that the Olympics are here and gone, and we can basically we can best and the trade deadline's gone. We can basically settle in now with what the teams have. You're still under the impression Avalanche heads over, 42, 10, and 9. Are they still your team that, someone's got to prove
They are, especially after the trades. They've added more center depth. They're a deeper team now. That honestly, the three best teams in the league might all be in the Central. It's Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota, and then Tampa probably is in there amongst them. But I mean, Buffalo is almost tied with Tampa, I believe, though. So who knows?
Yeah, Buffalo's another team that they're sneaky good. Like the young guys they got, and just the way they play. I like the way Buffalo plays.
I don't know if I trust them come playoff time. Every year you get a team that is dynamic, and then they get to the playoffs and they kind of get speed bagged a little bit by a more veteran team. Maybe that happens to the Sabres, but they're good. I mean, they're good for the first time in basically a generation. It's been 15, 16 years.
Yeah, I mean, they went through the Eichel stuff and
and you had like Colton Parayko vetoing his trade. And then that's actually a team, though, I don't like the Sabres deadline acquisitions of like Luke Shen and some other guys. I don't get it. That felt like making moves to make moves instead of trying to materially improve the team after Parayko vetoed the trade.
Okay, so we got the Pens at home today, 4:30 against Boston. Okay, tough matchup. Then we got Tuesday. We travel to Carolina. We go on a road trip. It's a rough one, man. We go to Carolina. Thursday we go to Vegas. Saturday we go to Utah, and then we finish it. Oh no, we don't even finish it. Then we go to Colorado and back to Carolina to end that road trip. That's gotta be one of the worst road trips you could possibly have.
Well, it's for not being a West Coast team, yeah. Like those teams always have it worse, but as far as Eastern Conference teams, it's probably one of the worst ones of the year. I think they'll come out of it fine. I don't think Vegas is very good. That was a team I was absolutely wrong on this year. Mm-hmm. Vegas, you got to win today. You got to beat Vegas. And I think they'll split against Carolina. They beat Carolina earlier in the year pretty comfortably. for the first time in a while. Like, but they haven't played them as much. Colorado, I think you go in penciling it in as a loss and hope that you get lucky, get a point out of it.
Mm.
Utah's tough though. Utah's weird. Utah gives up a lot offensively. That's a game where if you score some goals, I could see. I mean, obviously score some goals, but I think you can really run up some goal numbers against Utah and make them chase the game a little bit.
So we actually play Carolina 3 times in the next 14 days as we
Yep.
come back at
Be all
home.
4 matchups against them then.
Yeah, we come back home. We play Winnipeg, Carolina, Colorado. We do have. I mean, you can see where the schedule. Yeah, the schedule's tough. I mean, we got a lot of the best teams in hockey. I'm going to talk about one team that I'm not going to say we were wrong on, but I know we talked about them earlier in the year. What has happened to the Florida Panthers?
I think injuries, and then Bobrovsky's been bad. They lost Kachuk for an extended period. Barkov's not played at all. Ekblad's been out most of the year, I believe, or a large portion of the year. And Bobrovsky's been bad. I mean, that's pretty much it. It was just injuries and not getting goaltending. Their penalty kill, I believe, in particular, has been atrocious without Barkov. So it's just they're a team that they'll be back to being 100, 105 point team again next year if they're healthy and they get goaltending.
And let's not forget either. Me and you mentioned this at the beginning of the year. You play the most games in a 2-season. You know, you play the most games in the NHL out of the last 2 years. It's hard.
I mean,
so
look at
hard.
Too.
What's that?
I mean, look at Edmonton in the same boat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard. I don't care what anybody says. Like even when the Pens had the better of the team. This is before your time, but 93 was the Penguins' best team, but it was the third year. It was after winning 2 cups, and that was the best team they ever had, and they burned up in the playoffs. I mean,
2016, 2017, you go to the Cups, and then you beat the Flyers, but you don't beat them as comfortably as you should. The series drags on an extra game longer than it should. Then you kind of get into a 6-game dogfight with a couple overtime games against the Capitals, and you lose. You just kind of run out of gas. We've seen that a few times. Tampa's the only team I can think of recently that went to 3 straight Cup finals, and even then, Colorado kind of dismantled them.
Yeah, and so you're not too. As long as the Penguins grab some points here and there as these games coming up, you don't see it as being a really bad.
They'd have to go into like a 5 or 6 game tailspin, like lose another 2 or 3 games consecutively here before I think you can start dooming and glooming.
And you think, getting Crosby back in the middle of this road trip would be humongous.
Absolutely. I'd be shocked if he doesn't travel with the team, honestly.
Yeah, it's a long road trip, but like I said, it's a weird road trip that you basically have end stops in Carolina. So it's a rough little go, but it'll be interesting to see how the team performs. And I agree with you. The team seems to play against teams sometimes, and you're like, watch them get waxed by Utah and come back and beat Colorado, something weird like that. They do stuff like that. They've done that all year long. But other than that, the Penguins. How do you think the goalie situation come playoff time? How do you think it's going to run? Like once
I think you just roll whoever's playing better. Right now it's Seelov. So if it's Seelov's is better come mid-April, you roll with him. If it's Skinner, you roll with Skinner. I think it's just whatever guy takes the reins. And there's no shootouts in the playoffs, which has been Shelov's big kind of issue. Yeah. He's not good in that situation. So I think right now you keep rolling with Shelov's and just kind of see where it goes.
Do you send if you start the next week, if you see Seelov's really is still playing better, do you start giving him 2 out of 3 starts? 3 out of 4 starts, just to get him
points are ready. Yeah, there's no time to worry about Stuart Skinner or anybody else's feelings. You got to go with what's going to get you the most points here and now. And I which is whoever the hot hand is. And right now it's been Seelov's.
I totally agree. Darren, thank you so much for your time. Great Penguins talk. Guys, we'll be talking about the NHL no matter what. Playoff time, Penguins and the NHL. What's going on in the NHL? We had great little month or 2 for NHL. Like I said, it was a great Olympics. Got the trade deadline gone. It's here and gone, and sports is moving fast, man. We got the opening day baseball in less. I think it's 18 days. Opening day baseball. Got the NCAA tournament. Basically, I think the conference tournaments are coming up this week. So you got basically everything you could possibly want in sports. NFL free agency starts this week. It's just going to be some crazy times here. at Sports Bible. And Darren, thank you so much for your hockey talk, Penguin talk. And once again, guys, HVAC, Impact HVAC, one of my big sponsors. Get out there. If you go to start your air conditioning and it doesn't work whenever we start hitting that 80-degree humid weather here in Pittsburgh, you're gonna be like, man, I should have listened, should have went down. Give it a check, man. If you have an old one that didn't work real well last year, man, talk to them, see if they can come out and help you. Give them a call, 412-297-1852. NFL draft party, $20 a ticket at Lucky's. It's a great steal, I promise you guys. Swag bag, you're gonna have door prizes, and then there's gonna be some baskets for Chinese auction, couple helmets. Like I said, Tony Dorsett, 1976 Heisman helmet autographed. And then you also got a Heinz Ward helmet. And also, don't forget, we got 2 jerseys right now that will be going off at the party as well. We're picking the winner. It's Ben Kindle autographed white Penguin jersey and a Jared Jones black autographed. It's number 37. He changed his number this year, but it's his rookie 37 number autographed Jared Jones jersey. So if you want some of them, get a hold of me. It's $5 a ticket. Get your name in there, man. You can get a chance to win, especially the Kindle. The Kindle could be worth some money one day. I think he's going to be, as Darren has talked about, a really good long-term NHL player. So maybe not like a Sid, but he's going to be a guy that you look back at and say, man, a kid had a good career kind of guy. You agree with that, right?
I agree.
But all right, guys. Hey, thank you once again, Darren. Thank you, guys. www.sportsbible.com. Darren, how do they get a hold of you on Twitter?
My name on Twitter, I am, depending on the day, not on there as much, but capital D _ and then nasty02. Usually it's just Penguin takes, sometimes soccer and basketball if you're into that too.
Yeah, Darren has a unique, you have a unique sports first Pittsburgh guy. You're not as into baseball, football. He's more into like the, he'll talk Riverhounds, he'll talk soccer, he'll talk.
I'm a big winter leagues guy. Winter. The NBA, the NHL, and a lot of the European soccer. Big winter leagues guy.
Yeah, for you to be an NBA guy, you don't see that very often here in Pittsburgh. That's for true. That's why my NBA coverage ain't quite as good as I'd like it to be, but it is what it is. Darren, thank you guys once again. www.sportsbible.com. Do not forget Impact HVAC. Thank you guys.